Have you ever wondered how it is possible to assemble a tower crane in the middle of a city when there is no other machine tall enough to place it? Behind every skyscraper, there is a technical process that combines industrial manufacturing, modular assembly, hydraulic systems, and high-precision structural calculations. Every section, every bolt, and every movement is defined so that a structure weighing hundreds of tons can be raised in a controlled, stable, and safe manner as the building grows around it. The manufacturing process of a tower crane begins long before the machine appears on a construction site. Everything starts with the industrial production of its main structural components: mast sections, slewing platform, jib, counter-jib, hoisting systems, cab, counterweights, and climbing modules. Each of these elements is manufactured independently in specialized plants and then integrated as a complete system designed to operate in a coordinated manner. The mast sections are manufactured from high-strength structural steel profiles, selected according to international standards that regulate maximum load, fatigue from work cycles, and resistance to buckling. Steel plates are cut using oxy-fuel cutting machines or CNC plasma cutting, ensuring millimeter-level tolerances on each edge. The profiles are then welded to form hollow modular sections, generally between 3 and 6 meters in length. The welds are carried out using automatic or semi-automatic processes and are subjected to ultrasonic and magnetic particle inspections to detect internal defects. Once formed, the mast sections are straightened in hydraulic presses to ensure perfect alignment. The slewing platform, which allows the crane to rotate on its vertical axis, is built from large precision-machined steel rings. Slewing bearings are integrated into this component and are designed to support radial loads, axial loads, and overturning moments simultaneously. The rings are manufactured by forging or heavy machining and are then ground to ensure a uniform contact surface. Electric motors, gear reducers, and braking systems that control the rotation of the superstructure are mounted on this base. The main jib and the counter-jib are manufactured as steel lattice structures. Tubes and profiles are cut to size and assembled into triangulated frames that optimize the ratio between weight and strength. Each joint is welded under controlled procedures to avoid stress concentrations. After welding, the jibs undergo stress relief heat treatments in industrial furnaces which reduce deformation and improve structural durability. Once cooled, the trolley rails are installed, along which the load hook will travel during operation. The hoisting systems are manufactured in parallel. The cable drums are machined from steel blocks or special castings designed to withstand thousands of winding and unwinding cycles without deformation. The steel cables are produced by braiding high-strength wires with anti-corrosion coatings to extend their service life. The electric motors that drive the drums are assembled with gear reducers and electromagnetic brakes, capable of stopping the load immediately in case of an emergency. These assemblies are tested on test benches to verify their torque, braking capacity, and thermal stability under continuous load. The operator's cab is manufactured as an independent module. Its structure is built with reinforced steel or aluminum profiles and is equipped with control panels, radio communication systems, visual assistance cameras, and displays that show real-time data on load, wind speed, and hook position. Before being sent to the construction site, the cab undergoes functional tests in which prolonged working conditions are simulated to verify ergonomics, control reliability, and the correct response of the electronic systems. The climbing frame or self-climbing system is one of the most critical components of a tower crane. This module is manufactured as an enclosing structure that surrounds the mast. It is equipped with high-capacity hydraulic cylinders designed to lift the entire crane superstructure during the height-increasing process. The cylinders are produced in specialized workshops where the rods are machined, the hydraulic chambers are sealed, and they are tested at pressures higher than operating levels. The frame of the climbing system is built with reinforced steel profiles and assembled through structural welds that are later inspected using non-destructive methods. The counterweights are manufactured from reinforced concrete blocks or solid steel depending on the manufacturer's design. In the case of concrete, metal molds are used into which the mix is poured with internal steel reinforcement that prevents cracking during operation. These blocks are cured under controlled conditions until they reach the specified strength. Each counterweight is weighed and labeled to ensure that mass distribution in the crane is exact, since even a minimal imbalance can affect the stability of the entire system. Once all the main components have been manufactured, preliminary assembly is carried out at the plant or at logistics centers. In this phase, partial assemblies are performed to check the compatibility of the parts, the fit of high-strength bolts, and the operation of mechanical and electrical systems. Basic hoisting, slewing, and trolley travel maneuvers are simulated to verify that there are no interferences between components. After these tests, the modules are disassembled and packaged for transport to the construction site. At the construction site, the process continues with the preparation of the anchoring base. A reinforced concrete foundation is built specifically for the crane model, capable of absorbing vertical loads, torsional stresses, and moments produced by wind and suspended loads. Once the concrete has cured, metal anchor bolts embedded in the base are installed, onto which the first mast sections will be fixed. These anchors are previously manufactured from high-strength steel and are positioned with very strict tolerances to ensure the verticality of the structure. The initial assembly of the mast is carried out with the help of conventional mobile cranes, which place the first modules one on top of another. Each joint is secured with high-tension bolts that are tightened using calibrated tools to guarantee the specified tightening torque. As the mast reaches sufficient height, the slewing platform, cab, jib, and counter-jib are installed. At this point, the tower crane is already functional, although limited in height. The increase in height of the tower crane is carried out using a climbing system specially designed to raise the structure without the need for larger external equipment. To do this, a hydraulic frame is installed around the mast, located immediately below the superstructure where the cab, the jib, and the counterweights are located. This frame incorporates high-capacity hydraulic cylinders that, when activated in a synchronized manner, lift the entire upper assembly of the crane in a controlled and stable way. As the superstructure is raised, a free space is created at the top of the existing mast. Into that space, a new mast module is introduced, positioned with the help of guides and precisely aligned to ensure structural continuity. Once in place, the module is secured using high-strength structural bolts, tightened to the specified torque to ensure a firm and gap-free connection. After fastening, the hydraulic system slowly lowers the superstructure until it rests on the newly incorporated section. This procedure is progressively repeated each time the building gains height, allowing the crane to grow safely and in a controlled manner along with the structure. During the climbing process of the tower crane, lateral anchors are progressively incorporated to physically connect it to the structure of the building under construction. These tie-in points are designed in advance based on the structural calculations of the project and are manufactured as adjustable steel elements capable of adapting to small variations in position between the crane and the slab or the building core. Their main function is to absorb the horizontal forces generated by the wind, the movement of suspended loads, and the dynamic forces inherent to continuous operation. By limiting mast displacement, these anchors reduce oscillations and help maintain the verticality of the crane as its height increases. The installation of these ties is carried out at intervals defined by the structural design, normally every certain number of floors, and requires precise alignment to avoid undue stresses at the connection points. Each anchor is secured using high-strength bolts or fastening systems embedded in the building's concrete, and it is periodically inspected to ensure that there are no gaps or deformations. In this way, the crane and the growing structure come to behave as a stabilized unit, where both elements mutually reinforce each other against lateral loads and vibrations. Before beginning continuous operation under normal working conditions, the crane is subjected to a series of load tests directly on site. In these tests, controlled weights are lifted and different operating scenarios are simulated to evaluate the actual behavior of the lifting system, the structural response of the mast, and the effectiveness of the brakes during start and stop maneuvers. The proper functioning of the rotation mechanisms and the trolley movement along the jib is also verified, observing any possible vibrations or irregular behavior. In parallel, the accuracy of the safety sensors that monitor in real time the suspended load, wind speed, and the position of moving components is verified. The load limiters are adjusted to automatically block the system if the maximum permitted weight is exceeded, while the anemometers are calibrated to stop operation when wind conditions exceed the safe values defined by the manufacturer and the applicable regulations. These checks ensure that the crane operates within controlled margins, reducing the risk of mechanical failures or instability situations during its prolonged use on site. When the building structure reaches its final height, the reverse process begins. The crane is gradually dismantled using its own lifting system, removing the mast modules in descending order. The sections are lowered to the ground with the main hook until the crane is reduced to its minimum configuration. To remove the last components, a smaller auxiliary crane is assembled at the top of the building. This auxiliary crane dismantles the jib, the cab, and the slewing platform of the main crane. Finally, the auxiliary crane is also dismantled into modules that are transported using the construction elevator or manual systems. The entire manufacturing and assembly process of a tower crane is supported by continuous quality controls, structural certifications, and safety protocols designed to ensure that each component functions as part of an integrated system capable of operating for months or years under conditions of extreme loads, constant wind, and uninterrupted work. The operation of a tower crane is the result of an industrial system in which each component fulfills a critical function within a highly coordinated whole. The manufacturing of its modules, the progressive on-site assembly, the climbing system, the tie-ins to the building, and the load tests form a continuous process that makes it possible to work at great heights with controlled safety margins. The result is a machine designed to grow alongside the structure it builds, maintaining stability, operational precision, and structural strength throughout the entire construction cycle.